What's up, everybody? Art boys, art girls, and everything in between. So yeah, it's been a hot second since I've made one of these videos. I've had this one on the back burner for, I want to say, almost a month. So as you probably read from the title, this is making a creator for wargaming terrain stuff. And this time I wanted to take you guys through the whole process from, I guess, creating the creator and then printing it and I guess actually using it. So basically what I'm doing here, like what I do in some other videos to do some quick props to print, is just get some height maps from, in this case I got some from NASA themselves because they have a lot of free stuff on the website. So I did that. Originally I made 4 different size crates, and then I had the idea of making the video. So I guess I made this one on the fly, and this is probably the only video I'm gonna make where the making the actual crater or whatever I'm making is not sped up, because it's just way faster than everything else that I do. But yeah, so beyond, I guess, the crater things that I'm making, like I feel like there's not much to explain other than, right, I made like a cube, I squished it down so it's kind of like a thick plane. I started dragging my alphas, which are again the height maps that I got from like NASA's website in the free 3D resources section. Then I started like, I guess, clicking and dragging and shaping and just, fidgeting with the shape till I got something more irregular. And after that, just refining the shape and cutting out all the fat that I don't need so it's usable for tabletop. And I think I did it with 32 millimeter in mind, because that's the scale of Star Wars Legion. But it still works for pretty much every other, except I guess the micro wargaming, which is pretty cool, and I haven't really gotten too into it. But anyway, it works for most miniature gaming. For this specific crate, it's not going to be the one that I'm printing that I'll be showing in a hot second, but it is the exact same process that I took to make everything else, from flattening the edges, and pulling, stretching, and all those cool things that I just talked about. So yeah, I think the main reason why I put off doing this video itself, it's because I have a whole bunch of setup to do, because I work in a very small space, so the part of the setup is busting out the microphone, setting it up, connecting all the things. But since I've been streaming lately and I've done like a single art stream, I plan on doing more, like on Twitch. I've also been doing like some gaming content just for fun. So since I'm doing all those things, I pretty much already have everything out. So it's way easier for me to just transition into, alright, cool, it's just time to record the audio. Because this video was pretty much done. All it needed was like this voiceover you're hearing right now. It was already edited for music, it was edited for the video itself, and yeah. Alright, so here's a step that I should probably mention briefly. So I got the main crater shape, and then I did the pushing, pulling, and cutting chunks that I didn't need. And then I was using a whole bunch of the more height maps of like ground and dirt and pebbles, just to give it that sense that so that it feels real, if that makes any sense. Because craters, typically from what I've seen in all the reference pictures, they have like pebbles around them. They're not just like flat and smooth, kind of how it is here. And in this specific part, it's loading because I think I'm trying to remesh the surface, basically just redistributing the polygons that are within the mesh so that it's even. And it's something important that you need to be doing if you're going to be using a lot of height maps, because otherwise some areas might have like a large density of polygons, so you get a really nice crisp height map from it, and some areas don't have as dense, so it's just weirdly stretched, which was an issue that you saw. Okay, so yeah, back into me, because I'm the important one. No, yeah, just been enjoying streaming and the whole I think it's called stream of consciousness, where I'm just talking, and that's basically what my voiceover for the past 4 or 5 videos have become. Because I used to actually write down like a script and then write it and do all those things and go through it and revise it, but it doesn't feel as natural, and I have more fun just doing these sort of like impromptu I usually do them in one take. Sometimes it's two takes if like there's like a loud, I don't know, siren or something in the background voice. All right, so back to another part of the the actual creator sculpt. So there, you saw me just cut out a whole bunch of the bottom part of it, because the point of these things is so they can just be put on any tabletop, right? So there's stuff that I'm not gonna need, like all that excess, and it just makes it easier so you can place it down like a coaster. I guess you could use these as coasters if you really wanted to, although I can't imagine they'd be super great at being coasters. Oh yeah, so I was talking about streaming, all this stuff. So briefly, well, actually soon, you're gonna be able to see the 3D printing process, and I think, yeah, for sure I sped that up because I think it takes somewhere like around 3 hours per crater that I made, or something like that, in the lowest quality setting, because it honestly doesn't matter too much, because you're gonna be covering that up with like paint and your own little dirt and texture stuff. So it's just to get the base shape. This is more so like if you wanted to, you could definitely print this in like highest quality setting and get all the pebbles, details. It should work. But yeah, so printing's about to start now. Okay, cool. So there are some issues with the footage. The footage ended up being kind of corrupted in some areas, and it looks like it's stopped, but it's just because I skipped forward. I'm still figuring out some of this 3D print footage, I guess, capture, because the frame rates that I was capturing looks weird. So there's a hot second where it looks like nothing's happening, but not frozen. And yeah, I mean, this is just regular 3D printing. It has very minimal setup, so I do this thing now when they're like bigger pieces that have a lot of detail. I do a raft, which is basically it builds a support around the entire structure, and it makes sure that everything stays adhesed to the printing bed. But something like this that's just supposed to be coaster-like, I guess, is the term that I would use. I use a brim, which you can see is like that perimeter around the object. And that's just so when the plastic starts printing, it kind of lays this uniform wave, and I can see before it starts actually going ham. Because this has a lot of surface adhesion, which basically means that the plastic is sticking to the surface of the plate. But yeah, the main reason I made a whole bunch of these, I guess, props, because I also made some other stuff like Star Wars themed, because it's like in the Battle of Geonosis, which like that, like deserty bug planet. I just intend to play Star Wars Legion once the whole apocalypse pandemic thing's over and I can meet with people in person again. And I just want to show up and flex that I made a whole bunch of terrain. Which, I mean, terrain it's like fun, but it's not necessary for wargaming overall. You know, because you use it for, I guess, rough terrain would be like these craters, and some of them that I designed potentially you could use as like somewhat cover, because they're like waist high crater things where miniatures can fit in. I think I also made walls, spires, and like the Coliseum towers that you see sprawling around the like Star Wars Battlefront 2 map. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. I'm not sure there's anything too much that I want to say, other than, you know, if you're interested in my kind of content and you'd be interested in just, you know, me, you know, instead of just the art stuff, feel free to check me out. That's such a weird way of phrasing it. Check me out in Twitch. I'm like the beef dip in pretty much everything. I'm pretty sure you can just look it up, and I should come up. Either way, I'm gonna link it in the video description. Sometimes I am gonna be doing art streams, so like that whole process you saw me making the crater, that was real time. So I'm probably making smaller projects like that on stream instead of doing the large projects that take forever. Like, I'm making this crossbow for the game that I'm working on, and I have like a whole bunch of footage sitting, and I think I'm gonna probably make a part 1 and then a part 2 of it. It just takes so long to make some of these specific assets. But sorry, just quick recap. I'm hopefully gonna stop being in this hiatus, now that I have all my setup going on, and it's a lot easier for me to just get to the whole talking aspect, where I have a microphone. I'm also on Twitch, so you want to check me out at the Beef Dev. And yeah, that's pretty much I got going for you. So I think I'm probably just gonna either speed up the footage a bit, even more so, or alternatively, I'll just cut it short and then show you the end result. Alright, well, so catch you guys later. Peace.